Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Uh, Thanks for joining. This is Naz. Recently, I had a conversation with my friend. We were talking about a couple of different things. If you haven't checked out the podcast or the video, I'll leave links. But one of the conversations we had was on martial arts, especially martial arts that is effective for self defense and in the streets. So I kind of wanted to expand on that. I did make a shorter video on that conversation. So again, if you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link. But basically, what my friend and I were talking about is, what is most effective, in our opinion, in self-defense when you're, in the streets, basically. And his thing, we both mentioned that obviously, it's going to be different. Every situation is going to be different. And, you absolutely have to be aware of your environment. You have to be aware of the situation. Is it out in the streets? Is it parking lot? Is it a field? Is there one person? Is there multiple people? Are there weapons? Are there cameras? All these different things you have to think about, right? But when it comes down to it, ideally, like if we're talking about a situation where maybe it's one-on-one, like what would be the best, right? I mean, if it's multiple, then your best option may be to just get away from that situation and de-escalate and make sure things don't go horribly wrong, right? But if it is a one-on-one situation, or even if you can't de-escalate with multiple people, like, is there a martial art that's going to give you an edge versus, is there a martial art that's going to give you an edge? Um, like, if you don't know anything at all, obviously you're not going to have much of an edge. But if you know something, will that kind of, give you a better chance of getting away or survival, right? So yeah, so my friend basically said that he feels like some sort of grappling and leg kicks can be effective, right? Leg kicks are, relatively easy to learn, especially like Muay Thai kicks, right? And, calf kicks, things like that. They're pretty effective. You can land a lot of them. You can kind of create distance, and you can do enough damage where the person can't, like chase you or like come at you that as aggressively. So it can really slow someone down, and then some sort of grappling. So whether it's wrestling, judo, jujitsu. Um, and I tend to agree with that. I feel like, like some level of striking, whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, and some sort of grappling, because most people instinctively grapple, right? I think that's just, like, something within human nature, to grab and to do. But for me, what it comes down to is pressure testing, right? So if you know a martial art, uh, whether it's boxing, karate, taekwondo, whatever it is, does that martial art pressure test? Because I think that's what makes the difference, right? So if you're learning a martial art that doesn't pressure test and you're just sort of hitting the bags or breaking boards or hitting pads, even though you know certain techniques, you don't know if you're going to be able to do that in a stressful situation under pressure, right? So I think pressure testing is what will determine how well you can actually do those moves. So in my previous videos, I read the comments, and people, they said maybe this, maybe like, Aikido or Krav Maga or something like that. And again, it's like how much of that training is pressure testing, right? Like how much can you actually do under the real circumstances, or under real stress. Like, whereas, in jujitsu and wrestling, when we're sparring, rolling, whatever you call it, that's all pressure testing. Even in boxing, sparring, right? Sparring, or in an actual match, you're thinking under pressure, right? You're making decisions, in a blink of an eye. You're not even thinking about the decision, but you're rather reacting, right? So I think if you train in a martial art, if you can make that decision, I think that's going to be the difference maker. And also, I think someone commented something like, with grappling, you leave a lot of vital areas exposed. They said that they can attack your eyes, your neck, groin, whatever. My thing is, I feel like majority of the population in anywhere, they haven't trained in martial arts. So most people, I mean, I feel like the people who train in martial arts are, a small minority, right? So the average person who hasn't trained in any martial art or hasn't done any like contact sport, their hand-eye coordination isn't what you think, right? Like people think it's very easy to just punch somebody, right? But it's not. Like most people can't hit, like if somebody's moving coming at you, you're not going to be able to just, if you've never thrown a punch, if you've never trained in boxing, you're not going to just know how to throw a punch and hit that person, let alone like knock them out. uh, and also there's a chance if you do land a punch, you're going to injure your hand because you're not going to know, you don't know the proper form or technique to throw that punch. So so for them to go at a vital, so like if they can't even hit your head, hit your face, for them to aim at something like your eyes or your neck, which is a much smaller part, it's going to be a lot harder. And also, if you are trained in some type of martial art, let's say like kickboxing or Muay Thai, you know how to throw kicks efficiently, you're going to be in a better position to throw a better kick. You're going to know how to create distance or close the distance, and you're going to know how to do all that. And then I think grappling will really really help because like I said, I think instinctively most people just grapple. We have hands. I feel like instinctively grab one another. So if you know how to grapple, you're gonna understand positioning, right? You're gonna understand what's going to give you the best position or a dominant position to control the person. So that's pretty much what jiu-jitsu is, right? Like, jiu-jitsu is all about control. So if you're in a dominant position, the other person is not going to be able to do much to you, and whatever they can do to you, you're going to be able to do a lot more, right? Like people think, oh, you grab someone in a rear naked choke, they're going to bite you. Well, if they bite you, you're in a better position to bite back, or if you have the rear naked choke, if you crank hard enough, you can potentially injure the jaw, right? So so yeah, I feel like grappling is just going to give you a better chance of controlling the situation. Also, grappling, you may not need to throw strikes. So like all you may need to do is just hold them down and kind of de-escalate it, and then just let go, or so that way you don't get in trouble with the law, right? So yeah, I think grappling will definitely, help. So those are just my opinion. Again, I'm not a professional fighter, but I've boxed and I'm doing jujitsu now. So yeah, those are what I think. Let me know if you agree. I know some people said something like Aikido. I don't know too much about Aikido. I don't know if they pressure test. I don't know if they actually, fight each other as they train. So I'm not sure. So I couldn't really say. But I think another element is how you can, like, how fast an average person can learn that martial art. I think that's also a big factor. Like I feel like a lot of martial arts, especially within like kung fu and stuff like that, like they may take decades and decades to be somewhat proficient or efficient, right? Whereas like boxing, you can train for a few months and you're not going to be a pro, but you're going to be better than like most people, the average person, and you're gonna know the basics, and you're gonna be able to defend yourself against most, the average person. So yeah, so I think how fast you can learn a martial art, um, and yeah, if it's pressure tested, Even if you're like a American football, player, you're used to, tackling and getting tackled, dealing with the physical content. I feel like that can also like be transferable in some type of grappling art. So, like if you were to pick a fight with, a football player, they may instinctively do better than someone who hasn't trained in anything, right? So yeah, so some type of grappling, some type of striking, I think it's the way to go. It's, I feel like is the best. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Uh, did we cover enough? Were there other, things we might have missed or didn't think of? Again, yeah, let us know. And check out the other videos, check out the podcast. I'll leave a link once I get a chance to, edit this video. Well, this is live, but yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Leave a like, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.